Hello guys, welcome to another video. Now, the reason why I make this video is because I wanna say everything as well and about the channel, about my personal life and the things I like and a few things more because I think it's time now to express myself with you, all of you guys, the situations I have to live through and the real things I have to live through my channel, my life and everything. So, if you say this is like a podcast, I'm sorry, but it's because I want to make it like that. So, I'm very sorry for that. Now, before I start, I want to remember you. You have to remember you have to leave your like, remember subscribe if you like my videos and everything like that, and act all the notifications on the bell so you won't miss anything. So, with that, let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to talk in this video is about the family issues and all the problems I went through my life because I think it's time now to say it all and try to make expression with you guys because I have more company on my channel than my own life. I am not kidding. Now, if you see I'm drinking some water, it's because I'm with a heavy cold and I need to drink a lot of water. So I'm sorry about it. But it's because I want to do it now. So let's get started. Now, since I was 8 years, that means 9 years ago, I started having family issues. That means with problems with my family and everything. My mother was the responsible for all the problems I suffer in my life, but it's because my mother want all the things she wanted on the easy way. That means she don't understand the hard work and everything, and that problem came for a lot of years and everything. Now, since I discovered the truth myself, because I was the only one who discovered the truth on the past when I was suffering that, in 2017 I had forced escape. That means I have to escape myself in the hard way. I used a weekend and then I escaped to the house of my dad, and then since that happened, I started to live with him on July of 2017 because in that year I started to live with him on July. Now, since I started to live with my dad, my life completely changed because I start to make a new life. I start to make a real friends. Well, not real friends at all, but some friends because some people don't doesn't understand me as well, and some people do, some people not. But it's because they always care about me superior than anybody else and everything, and that involves the another problem I'm gonna say on forward in this video, and I start to make to go to a doctor to see if they can help me to fix my problems as well and everything, and actually that helped me. But since the COVID-19 started, my life completely changed because the the online class, the COVID, and keep locked down the house for so many years. Well, not years, only months because it only happened some months. That thing made me change so hard and on the show and the social. So that's why sometimes I don't understand the reasons at all. Now that involves too because when I was doing the COVID-19 thing, my mom always start to make something on this, and since that year to this one 2023, she started to say if I get everything done, if I did that thing, blah 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 blah. And actually that makes me angry because it was all the days the same thing. And actually, since in April of this year, I get tired of her because she started to blame me for a thing that doesn't make sense with me again because that happened me so many years ago. And I end my connection with her, and then I don't talk with her anymore. I know it. I know it's a bad thing and everything, but I don't want to get myself into more problems because I suffer so much problems in my life, and I try to get out of that. Now, when I start to live with my dad, and I'm sorry to get back on the future. Since I started to live with my dad, the problems were almost the same, but the problems sometimes change and make something different because when I was start to live with my dad, some new problems appeared. For example, yesterday, no, just yeah, yesterday, I was playing Saints Row 2, making the video missions because I was doing the game on Spanish because now I start the game on Spanish, but I will finish it on Spanish because I don't have the game in English, so I'm sorry about it. I start to make the game some videos of the missions, and then the heater I got on my right because I was in the living room because make a videos on the living room because it's too big to have it on my room, and besides my house doesn't have a third room, so that's why I'm saying for the heater, the cable of the heater will start to make fire. So once that happened, I turned down the heater because I was running. Then the power of the house got down, and then when that happened, I disconnected the cable with carefully, and then I opened the window of the house to avoid a heavy smoke around the house, and that happened because the cable was pretty broken and it was pretty burned, and my dad saying it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen, and I said, "We'll see about that." Now it actually happens because the cable was pretty broken and everything, but it wasn't for my fast reaction. The cable probably started to make a big fire, or maybe the heater probably exploded and make a real tragedy because that was not the first time I have to suffer that. It's the second time I have to suffer that, and actually, I was always kind of scared about those situations because it always get me, and my adrenaline always get me high. So that's why I need to be careful with it. And and I said to him, and you said nothing was gonna happen. And then he looked at me with a face like of I don't understand. And I told him I told you it was gonna happen. And actually it became true because my brother and me were warning him because it was gonna happen. And since that moment, that happens. Now, about another problem I suffered a few days ago, I was watching a video reaction of a friend whose birthday, by the way. Today is his birthday. I don't know. I get confused about the days. And my dad called me and he wanted me to make him a bread and a coffee. And I told him I can do it. I'm watching a video reaction with a friend. And he became angry and angry and angry. And I told him, what what you win with what you win with that? And actually, it made me shut up and everything. And a few moments later, he blamed me because only for the games. And I told him, "You think blaming me for the games is gonna fix everything?" And actually became more angry and angry. And I told him, making angry of me is not fun and it's not reasonable. And that happened to me so many times since the thing of the COVID-19 started because since I'm studying it and it doesn't say me study on everything, but actually I'm studying it. He blames me for the games. You only care about the game. You only care about the game. And I tell him I don't care about the games. And it's still the thing. It's still the thing. He doesn't get tired of that because he always think I'm responsible for all the problems he has suffered on the school and everything. And it's not true. He's blaming me for a thing that doesn't make sense. And that happened to me so many times because he doesn't know how to understand a situation as well. It gets it always complicated for a thing that doesn't make sense and makes me sick because it's not normal to happen me so many times that thing, and for that thing it doesn't make sense. And I try to escape with that bit, but the things get worse because it's still blaming me, and I'm so tired of that. And I'm not kidding. I try to make a new life. Yeah, I try to make it, but sometimes it gets worse because the people still blaming me for everything. They make fun of me. They don't recognize the job I'm doing, the hard job and everything, the things I'm doing on the school and everything, and that makes me sick. So that's why I start to make a new life myself, and actually became becomes a good idea. But my dad gets involved, and then the mess started again. So that's why I want to share with you guys, because if you can give me an opinion or something, because I'm getting tired of suffering the same problem again, again, again. So that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna talk in this video. Now let's start with the second one. It's gonna be with the music. Now let's get started with the second thing I wanna talk in this video. It's about the music. What kind of music I like, and what sort of music do I like to listen to. So let's get started. Now, I really like the decade of the 80s because they really prove what is music and everything. And the 90s show them are very good, but the 70s sometimes they did it too good too. And since the age of the internet show up, that means since the 2000, I born the 2006 by the way, and that makes something different because the age of the internet changed everything, the creation, the way they create the music and everything. And that's the thing I'm so comfortable because they really shows how we can do the music and everything. Now, when I'm listening to music, it's because when I'm in a bad situation and anything, and that makes me happy because I feel calm, I feel happiness, and I feel better about it. For example, I really love the music of Anna Hewitt. I'm sorry if I say it bad, her second name, because it always makes me complicated to say her second name. I really love her songs she created on through these years because they're so positive. The music is so good. The lyrics are perfect. I really like it. The song style is so good, and her voice is so positive, and I really love it. So I always listen to her, but when I was in a bad time or anything, because that makes me so happy, makes me so feel so positive when I was in a bad moment, and hey, help me to chill. And actually, that that helped me so much because her song style is so different to the music I always listen. Now, I discovered her channel since she released the music Running Out of Time. She released it on the 8th of March on 2022, and I really love it. I never heard a music like that in so many years, and I really love it. She released it on the no copyright sounds, so you can see it if you wanted to. And since that happened, I discovered her channel. I listened all her songs, and I really love them. And that's something I'm so glad about it because her music makes me makes me feel so different about it because I never heard some music like that, and I'm so happy with her. Now, I always listen her, like I said, in bad moments and everything, but I always listen the music too when I was playing racing games or anything, especially the other musics too, but most of them are from her. And I really like the song style and the turns and everything. I got a mind to do something with their music on the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, considered to be one of the best Need for Speeds ever. And I'm not sure how good it's gonna get it because I practiced so many items, the races and everything. I got in mind some musics and everything, so let's see what happens. Now, I really love the style she created because that makes something different. I listen to her videos. Now, the reason why I make this podcast is because I was watching one of the videos she did on the podcast. I don't remember the name, sorry about it. But since that I watched the video and then I made a podcast on my school, I think I can do some podcast. And yeah, that's what I did. This is the second podcast I'm doing in my life, and actually, it's pretty good because that really shows something different I learned on the school and from the internet, and that's the thing I'm so glad about it. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast. And the other musics I always listen is about the music of the older games because the older games are pretty good music and everything, and I really like them to make a combination through videos or something, and they manage so good. So that's why I always listen to them, and that's the thing I always like about the music, the lyrics, the song style, the timed reaction and the combination of instruments and lyrics. Because, for example, when I was listening to music, I always think what could be happen next, and actually sometimes it becomes true because when I'm listening so many times the song, it always have in my mind, and that's the thing I'm so glad about it because even I have memory of time, my memory is capable to learn about the music, the lyrics, and everything like that. But when I'm watching a video, it doesn't combine the music at all. But it's a thing I always glad about it. So that's the thing I really like about the music and all the things as well. So that's the thing I'm so glad about it. Now, the last thing I want to talk in this video is about the job and the future I'm gonna have in my life. So let's get started. Now, the thing I'm gonna work on my future is about the animation 3D and the work and the computers and everything like that. Now, I care about that and I care more about being a character of a game. If I ever could be in Life is Strange, it could be great. Now, I start to make the movie of Life is Strange that is very similar to the game, but it's all about cinematic and everything. I didn't have the intro ready yet because the intro is giving me a hard time because it's a creation of 3D. Second, I don't have the real music yet. I have it, but I need to change the instruments and I need to change everything. The third thing, I have the thimbles ready to go because I created myself. It took me so many hours, but I finally did it. I played the game at least 174 hours because that thing I want to learn it very well to then make the subtitles and make everything right because all the things I have to do it myself. Now, thanks to the Fillmore 10 and everything, I made it to make I made it to create the video, all the videos in one. So that's why I want to do it. And it's a thing I'm glad about it because a friend of mine gave me the program to make the videos and everything, divide a creation and everything. So that's the thing I'm so happy because they finally recognize the job I'm gonna do. Now, once I finish the university and everything like that, the only thing I'm gonna work is in the computer because I know it sucks, but I always like to work online for two things. The first one, I have my own space. Second, I like to work on the computer. And a third thing, more is like an extra, I can work with I can work with time and everything. Now that involves the patience and the time because some when I'm working, my dad sometimes calling me or my brother calling me, but it's because they want me to do everything for them, and I say them, not everything I have to do with you, and that makes me sick because they doesn't understand at all. I'm sorry for having so much problems with my tongue, but it's because I'm getting tired. My dad specifically, he doesn't understand me as well because I told him I have things to do, but he doesn't care about it, and he's still blaming me and everything, and I'm getting tired of that. Now I know I have to help him and everything, but not always have to help him. Sometimes my brother had to help me and everything, and that's the thing I want to be clear with it because sometimes I have to do everything for them. They leave me some things to do, but they don't do anything. They just rest the weekend and never do nothing. The only thing my dad do on the weekend is the dinner and nothing more. And all the things I have to do myself is the things he never did on the entire day. And that's the thing I'm so pissed because it takes me so many time to do it. And that's the thing I have to learn. I mean, I know I have to do those things on the future and everything, but not everything I have to do it myself. For example, I always have to help. I always had to do the bread and the coffee on my to my dad at the 5 p.m. because he always eat to that hour, and I need to make time and everything. But when I'm doing it, it's because I have to do some things and everything, and he gets angry because he blames me because I care more about the game and everything, and that makes me angry because that means the time on me is so restricted, and I'm so pissed about it. So that's why I need to make sure about the things and make sure my time is pretty restricted and open it to make all the things I have to do in my school, my job, and everything. So it's a thing I want to talk with you guys, and if you can give me some opinions and give me some help and everything about it, I'll be blessed because I really like to hear your opinions about it because it's so happy with it. Share this video with your guys, share the channel with your guys and everything. I know my videos are not so good, some of them, but a lot of people like it, my job and everything. But it's because I don't want to get stuck on Super Mario 64 because I know I am the king of the game and everything, but I want to change my channel so far because not everything I have to do it myself because for example, the Saints Row 2 is the longest game I have to do myself for now. And it's because I want to do it because I want to change something on my channel. And that's the thing I'm doing. So that's why I tell you guys, support the channel, help me to make it so far on YouTube, and then I can make everything good. So that's why I'm saying. Well, guys, that's gonna be the first episode of this podcast. I'm gonna do at least 3 or 2 episodes of this podcast because I don't wanna I don't wanna get my thread wasted. So that's why I'm gonna do it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Well, the next podcast because it's gonna be a podcast. This thing. So I'll see you around. I hope you guys like it. Share the video, leave your like, subscribe, and then I can make more videos for you. See you around.